So we have the traced out pattern of the basic bodies, and now we are moving on to off shoulder. So your off shoulder can take any form you want. Your off shoulder can be princess dart, it could be panel dart, any dart you want, you could do it there. You could have a bustier, like do your underbust tightening. You could have any kind of neck you want to, aside the round, jewel and square neck. But for off shoulder, you can take whatever shape you want to take. So how do we do this? For off shoulder, you have to make a shoulder tightening of 100%. Shoulder, I will just put ST, shoulder tightening of 100%. So if your dart is 8, that means 100% of 8 is also 8. You're working with 8 back. That's 16 altogether. Then mine is 7, and 100% of 7 is 7. So I'm taking out 7 again from this side, like sharing the 7 between this place and this place. So this place could take like 5, and this place could take like 2 centimeters. Always do remember that this other side here takes more than this other side. So that is what I'm going to do right now. I have my sleeve pattern here as well. We need to work with our sleeve pattern together with the off shoulder. So this is it. You will join it back to her point D. Join back to the point D. Then whichever way you want it, most of the time it's not like we transfer the shoulder dart to the underarm here, but we can actually have a bustier. So when we have a bustier, you know, we've done our shoulder tightening by doing that. We've done our underbust tightening by doing that. So you just slash to this way. So I'm just assuming that okay, our waist is being transferred, our shoulder dart is being transferred to the waist. Then you close your dart. Okay. Yeah. You are going to close your shoulder dart. Please make sure you're just doing exactly what I'm doing. You can pause the video and quickly do whatever you want to do, like work on the pattern as I am working on it. Okay, so you have this already. You close the shoulder dart by using 100% shoulder tightening, and then you're going to come to your armhole here and you measure how off you want your armhole to be. If you do not want too off, like you just want it to be like the shoulder, like the tip of your shoulder, just like we have the cannon neck at the tip here. So you will just give it like 1 inch or 1.5 inch or 2 inches. Let me just say 1 to 2 inches if you don't want it too off. If you don't want it too off. But when you can manage the real offness, you can go down by 3 inches or 3.5 inches. So me, I am just going to stay in between, and I'll go for 2.5 inches there. My boss used to say that that's not the real offness. The real offness is when it is really off. But you can also have it as modest as you want it to be. You don't have to make it so off before everybody knows that you are wearing off shoulder. So you come to your neck depth here. How deep do you want your neck to go? Like I want 5 inches. So I am going to draw a curve just like we did for bustier. But remember that bustier isn't going back to the armhole. It goes back to the armhole itself, like inside the armhole. It's not like the straight armhole like this, but inside the armhole here. So this is what we have for the off shoulder curve. So you just make something like this. If you want it curvy a little, you can make it curvy. Any design you want to make here, you can just make the design here. But the most important thing is to come down at your neck depth here, and also the armhole here. So how are we going to work on the back bodies? We are just going to measure the remaining thing we have here. We're going to take a measurement of what we have left, and here we have here. So we're just going to transfer it back to the back armhole. Please remember we've removed the darts here. So with this, your off shoulder would not be too off, and it will be very firm because we have tightened this place, so it's not going to gape at all. So you're going to mark this place and mark here. You're going to add your allowance, your 0.5 allowance here. Just go. Don't forget this place is cut on fold always, except you want to have a joining there. Okay, then you're going to have your sewing allowance. So the allowance has been added already. 0.5 here, 0.5 here, and 1 inch is allowed here. My boss would always say that it's 1 centimeters, so that if the person gets fat, the person can always come back to come and make new clothes, and that is why we are here as fashion designers. Okay, so you've measured the remaining stuff here and placed it back here to the back. You are just going to extend the line here downwards, either straight way or you come low a little bit. So I'm just going to go down a little bit. You can also measure where you want your back depth to be, maybe 5, 6, 7. Let's use 6. So I'm just going to draw a line from this place here to the other side. Then I'm going to add the allowance, 0.5 inch allowance, 0.5 inch allowance here too. I'm going to join, and I'm going to add the zip allowance here. Very, very important. Please don't forget to always add your zip allowance. That's 1 and 1 here to take in the zip. So you're just going to have this, and don't forget, if you do not want that, you can also remove it by this side, on the side back. You can remove it easily, but if you want it, you will just notch this place, you notch here and place a pin inside this place, so that you know where you're stopping at, like where your dart is stopping. But if you don't want, you can always remove it here by this side and join back here. So we are just going to cut now, and for you to see how it looks like, and we will be done with our off shoulder pattern drafting. Okay. Alright, so this is the back. This is how the back should look like, even on the fabric. This is how it should look like. So I'll just assume that there's this is the dart I'm cutting off. I'll just assume I'm only using the dart, I'm not tightening it, but it is very, very essential you do underbust tightening if you really want to have a fine off shoulder stuff. When we go to the sewing techniques, I'm going to show us some materials we can use we can add up to our sewing to make it solid. You don't necessarily have to pad and pad and pad before you have a fitted clothes and a standing clothes. So I'm going to do just that when we get to the sewing techniques. Okay, so here we have it. Please don't make this place pointed when you're doing yours, like a little bit curvy like this. Then you will add sewing allowance here. You are going to add SA 0.5. You add it so that you can join it together easily. Don't forget your SA here too on the waistline, SA here too on the waistline, and SA here on the waistline. So with this we are done with our shoulder, our off shoulder neckline. So to extend, if it's like you want to have a gown with it, you can just know how to join up everything like we've described in the skirts and all other patterns that we've used.